Oh, it's all peak, thank God.
Yes, yes, indeed, Mishka. It is all pick. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is part two of the round of 8 match between GuC and mFx. I'm Zyori. With me is Mishka and Min, and we're finally getting into this game. This is the third remake. We're here, ready to rock and roll. Min, I know you must be excited to finally get in this game.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game, and yeah, here we go.
Yes, me too. So let's go ahead and go over the rosters again very quickly here. We do have Forsaken Archer, Hammerstorm, Armadon, Witch Slayer, and of course Polywog Priest here. Going to be taking up that middle lane for the Legion team, mFx. And over here on the Hellborn for GuC, we do have Glacius, Magebane, and Aluna. Tundra going to be solo in that mid, and of course Wretched Hag up here in the top lane. So an interesting roster, and before we had to remake, I think we were talking about the kind of skill cap heroes, and during the break as well, Ophelia and Tundra being one of them. We haven't seen too much of him, and I'll be excited to see how he fares in this game. So Polywog Priest in the mid. Up in the top it will be Witch Slayer, Forsaken Archer, and presumably Hammerstorm as well. As you so properly predicted, Min, we are going to have Armadon solo the bottom lane. And interestingly enough, I brought up the point about tri-lanes seemingly always going up against the other tri-lanes, and here we're going to have two 3v1 lanes.
Yep. So have a 3v1 and a 3v1 at another lane. So yeah.
So it'll be kind of interesting to see how these teams react, and I actually kind of like this style a little bit. It can get a bit tedious, but it can be very refreshing, and I think Wretched Hag is one hero that fits this role very, very nicely. It's going to be all about leeching XP, and we're going to be able to compare the kind of state of this game by looking at who's losing basically the suicide lane here in this scenario. And we see the Hellborn team already doing some lane shuffle. We're going to see, it looks like they want to face the tri-lane heads up here. It's going to be Magebane, Aluna, and Glacius rotating to the top, and Hag going to move down to the bottom lane. So scratch that little bit of theory crafting. They're going to pull an audible, and we're going to go back to the classic 3-on-3 and then 2 solo lanes.
Yeah, I think they actually used the career to scout the Legion's hero and managed to find out that they had a tri-lane on the top, and they transfer the lane.
Yep. So that seems to be the sort of the flavor that most teams are going for here. As sort of one of the things I was questioning about is it preference? Is it part of this play style? And I would concur that it indeed is. This at least the Hellborn side obviously preferring to match up these tri-lanes. So what does that leave us? We do have solo Tundra versus solo Polywog Priest, which should be interesting here. Tundra should be able to farm reasonably well, although it'll sort of depend on how aggressive he wants to be. Of course, Moon Meander is one that comes to mind for a very aggressive Tundra player, and it seems Hikori here, Hiroki, pardon me, oh, the dyslexia. Hiroki playing a little more defensively, still at full mana, but well, seems to be farming okay, sitting 4-1, Polywog Priest 3-2.
Yeah, Tundra has the skill cold shoulder, actually is very powerful, and it actually hurts a lot when you actually spam it during a 1v1 situation. Like, yeah, so right now he's like playing really defensively and not really pressurizing Polywog Priest a lot, and Polywog Priest is really playing very offensively, keep auto-attacking him. Yeah, so
yeah, Tundra definitely needs to be a little more aggressive here, and there you go, that's it. And look how much damage he's going to do. Oh, Tundra, why don't you keep auto-attacking? You may have been able to pick up your Bloodlust right there, buddy, or at least could have been a close call. Oh, Tundra. We'll see how he continues to fare, but a bit of a misplay there, sorry. Shouldn't be so critical, but well, it's kind of some backseat playing right there. It's like, hit him! Hit him! Oh, you didn't hit him. Oh. So, bummer. Let's check out the bottom lane here. Armadon versus Wretched Hag. Armadon sitting 8-4, and good old Haggy Bo Baggy sitting 7-2, so relatively even. Let's see, Armadon went Hatchet as well as Shield. So, a pretty well-rounded build. Should be a fairly even lane down here. Hag harassing with the Haunt works very nicely in a 1v1 lane against a melee, as you see Armadon. Really not much he can do about it. But really, we should expect this to be a kind of passive game here in the early stages. Still no action coming out of this tri-lane either, although we do have a roam in the mid lane. Hammerstorm going to come in here, and Tundra may find himself in a little bit of a sticky situation. Are they going to have enough damage to actually finish him off here? No, wow, he's going to be able to survive. Had the, no, pardon me, didn't have a cold shoulder, but Very nicely done. Tundra, a pretty tanky beast early on, and actually going to be able to harass back Polywog Priest a little bit. Looks like there's action up here in the tri-lane as well. Witch Slayer may very well fall to the first blood. There's a stun from Luna, and yup, that's going to be enough. Magebane actually going to be the one to pick up the last hit, and I can't think of a better hero to pick up that bonus 200 gold.
Yeah, that's a huge position. I mean, like, yeah, a huge benefit for Mischyz to actually being able to pick up the first blood there. Yeah, so good job.
Beautifully done, but Tundra, you know, showing us a couple things there in the mid lane, and I think most notably how powerful Tundra is early on, why you can afford to be so aggressive. And again, Cold Shoulder, it gives you extra attack speed with auto attacks. When you Cold Shoulder in, man, you want to get as many auto attacks off as possible. But yeah, we'll continue on Tundra in a second as we see, oh, in the top lane, Forsaken Archer going to get finished off by a nice power throw there from Tofu. But you can, what allows Tundra to do that is his just natural tankiness early on as being a big, meaty strength hero. And there's going to be a battle for this illusion rune down here, and it looks like Tundra is going to be able to grab it. And yeah, that's going to top him off. So that is good news for Tundra here in the mid lane. Let's take a look at the GPM chart. Of course, Magebane a little bit inflated from that bonus Bloodlust gold. And everything else actually fairly even across the boards here, man.
Yep, everything is fairly even except for the Mischyz is at the top, currently top farmer. Yeah, so things are going well for the Hellborn team, and yeah, most probably they had to set up something and get a chance to actually kill Mischyz.
And yep, glancing at the farms up here in the top lane, Forsaken Archer's not doing too bad, sitting 11-4, but with Magebane 16-3. It's again sort of the same story, different chapter, what we saw in with some of those previous matches with these tri-lanes, where if the primary farmer is a melee and get that hatchet, it just makes it so much easier to last hit against someone like Forsaken Archer, who just doesn't have the luxury of a hatchet, so to speak here. So no surprise that Magebane's a little bit ahead. And again, you know, we're seeing these sort of aggressive tri-lanes, 3 stuns between Witch Slayer, Forsaken Archer, and Hammerstorm, and they're all sitting here at virtually full mana. Hammerstorm still recovering from throwing that stun earlier, but I mean, Witch Slayer at full mana, Forsaken Archer as well. You need to try and harass a little bit. I mean, if you can at least pick on this Glacius a little bit, I mean, level 2 Glacius is going to be almost dead to that chain of spells, so would love to see them be a little more aggressive. Down here in the bottom lane, looks like Armadon could be in a bit of a sticky wicket, and down he goes. Pig going to be able to finish him off with a nice Sonar Scream. That's going to be all she wrote. Witch Slayer going to port bottom, but I don't know he's going to be able to catch up to Hag. Well, maybe if he had been a little more decisive, he could have done it, but yeah, Hag going to be able to maintain lane presence. Very nicely done. Hellborn team starting to pull ahead a bit here. Speak of the devil in the mid lane, Tundra now in a little bit of trouble, going to get caught in a ward trap and a tongue tie. It's going to be enough to finish him off. Polywog Priest, one of those scary heroes at level 6. So this is going to be, well, if anything, first kill on the board here for mFx.
And he got himself trapped in the ward.
Yeah. Oh, how unfortunate. So that does help level things out a little bit, but still rather unfortunate with Hag winning that bottom lane. That does put 2 winning lanes in favor of the Hellborn side. And, I mean, Polywog Priest has won the mid, but Tundra is still doing pretty well. If anything, I'd kind of consider that a break-even lane. And we'll see where Witch Slayer goes in the mid lane here. Polywog Priest going to get taken out. Luna and Tundra going to be able to finish him off. The power of Avalanche, kind of equivalent to the power of Polywog Priest at level 6 with the Ward Trap. Able to turn it around, make it 4-1.
Yeah.
And in the bottom lane here, looks like Wretched Hag could be in a little bit of trouble. Witch Slayer going sneaky stealth mode, hiding in the trees. And we'll see what happens here. And Hag needs to be a little bit careful. Does have a Bat Blast up, so probably giving her sort of a false sense of security a little bit. Witch Slayer trying to get in the right position. Really building up the tension here. I thought Witch Slayer was going to go a while ago. Sorry about that. I thought they were going to go straight in, but it didn't happen. So Witch Slayer going to hang out here and wait for that perfect opportunity. Up in the top lane, though, the tri-lane is pretty much dispersed now that Witch Slayer's in the bottom. We see Hammerstorm just cruising around trying to help out mid lane, but that means Magebane's now got a window of absolute free farm. Poor Forsaken Archer is left up here all alone against 3 heroes. Absolutely nothing she can do, and she's starting to drop off a little bit. Armadon taking a little bit of additional damage down here. Look at that, Magebane up around 300 GPM. Forsaken Archer sitting only around 150. And she needs to be a little bit careful here. Going to catch an Luna stun. There's the aggressive blink from Magebane. I don't know if they're going to have enough to finish her off, but you can see why she's forced out of the lane. A lot of aggressive power. After all that waiting, Witch Slayer is going to be forced back to the top lane. A lot of wasted time from this yellow Witch Slayer here, unfortunately. Giving a pretty sizable advantage to our Hellborn side, now about 2,500 gold here, only 8 minutes in.
Yeah, looks like they're gonna do some pushing at the top lane. To I think they realized that Mischyz had a free farm and they need to bring down the tower and do some push to at least stop his farm for a bit.
Yep, that's exactly right, and they are doing just that. Very aggressive ward placement. The rest of the team not quite ready to follow up. The ward's just going to get cleaned up here, get the tower down to about half health. Hammerstorm Witch Slayer going to throw a Grave Stun, but he's going to get turned around on. Nice jump from the Hellborn side. They do trade 1 for 1 though, as Magebane gets taken down. Probably a favorable trade for the Legion team, actually. Witch Slayer for a Magebane is something they'll take all day. Still 1,800 gold in the bank of a Mr. Magebane here. He'll be able to port back in just a matter of seconds. Tower's still alive. mFx, though, they're still going to pressure. Forsaken Archer just chipping away at it. And they don't want to overcommit. The volley, not going to connect. And I think that'll be the end of the push. Helped leveled it out a little bit. Unfortunately, they didn't get the tower, though.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually right now, wow, the electric jog actually did so much damage to Mischyz. He hurt so much.
Yeah. Yeah, so it has 1 electric jolt, is about half his health, and that's...
Yeah.
I mean, he's just pulling up gold right now, so he really doesn't have much to show for all of that awesome farm, and he's actually reasonably low level just from being up in the tri-lane for so long. So we'll see where he goes those item choices. I imagine he's just going to go straight into that Rune Cleaver nice and quick here. But we'll see. Of course, he could go Helm of the Black Legion first. Down here in the bottom, Armadon still struggling against Hag a little bit. She's picked up the Steam Boots, and he's picked up that early Vanguard, or pardon me, Helm of the Black Legion. Still taking a lot of damage here. No magic armor. He needs to be very careful. Hag's going to have enough damage here. There's the Sonar Scream, and oh, it's not enough. Wow, I thought he was definitely going to have enough damage, and Armadon is going to be able to survive. Probably should have blinked to get around to the other side of him. All the while up in the top lane here, though, there's an exchange of damage. Tundra going to get turned around on. He's going to get Hexed. He needs to be a little bit careful here. Does have the Avalanche. Needs to throw it down before he's going to go down. Never mind, going to use the Piercing Shards. Not enough mana, but they do secure the kill onto Hammerstorm. And unfortunately, the Legion side not able to secure a kill. Not the best focus firing. And of course, Tundra, not the best of targets at this state in the game. Tanky beast that he is, sitting on Strength Steam Boots. 1,100 hit points here at only level 8. Absolutely insane. Hellborn side still maintaining their lead 6-2 here. 3.6k goal lead.
Yeah, so actually, I think more or less, Forsaken Archer can't really get her farm, and he's not really in a great shape. So, do you suggest that he actually trade lane and actually go bottom instead right now?
And he's going to port top.
Oh, he's still going top.
Yeah. So, very unfortunate. You're exactly right, though. I mean, looking at the Royal Creep score, he's sitting only 21 and 10. Magebane, 44, and I mean, just look at this. 45, 50 creep kills is where all 3 primary farmers of the other lanes are sitting. So Forsaken Archer has a lot of catching up to do. And Hag almost pushing this tier 1 tower in the bottom solo is certainly advantageous to the Hellborn side as well. Can be able to blink away. Unfortunately, not much Armadon can do to secure a kill onto Hag, although Armadon's farming reasonably well down here in the bottom, 42 and 16. Not too bad. I think he would be wise to invest in some Mystic Vestments pretty quickly here, which I imagine he will at some point. Probably going to move into the Barrier Idol. Tundra going to move top as well. They're just going to open up that mid lane for Magebane to farm against Hammerstorm. I'm sure Magebane is loving every second of it. And up here at the top, the tri-lane continues, even though it is a completely different setup of heroes.
Yeah. So right now I find that, yeah, with Polywalk Priest, basically they will be able to do something. But I think without Polywalk Priest, they can't really set up any kills anymore even with Hammerstorm. So kind of failed trade lane right here. So what they can do is, I think they have to really run lanes and stop going top.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I would agree with you. I think the big problem here is looking at this GPM chart, the supports are what really tell the story here. Aluna and Glacius both well above 100 GPM, Aluna sitting around 150. You've got Hammer Storm as well as Witchslayer here. Witchslayer actually below static gold gain right now, and as we speak, Forsaken Archer getting ganked in the top lane. Easy kill there for GuC, and of course the most valuable target. This may result in some pressure on this top tier 1 tower. It's at full health, but actually, nope, no pressure there. It's going to port. It looks like they are going to port mid and at least try and set up a deny here. Polywog Priest dropping the Voodoo wards. Is it going to be into deny range? It's going to be close. I think it's just outside of deny range there. Oh, never mind, pardon me. They are going to be able to secure the deny thanks to the heavy ballista auto attack. And speaking of tower denies, down here in the bottom, this tower is awfully close. Yep, mid going to get denied. Anyhow, looking at this chart, you know, 2 heroes kind of on par with static gold gain, and Forsaken Archer right now is on par with the Luna. That's just bad news bears. They need to shift priorities into getting that Forsaken Archer into a lane where she can actually pick up farm ASAP. And again, like you said, sending her top is not the right choice. Going to continue up here. You have 3 heroes sitting level 5. You're at that point in the game where you need those ultimates. Everyone has their ultimates on the Hellborn side. We have 3 heroes all in the same lane together, sharing that XP, slowly grinding their way to getting their ultimates. Really holding back the Legion team, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you already know that you can't farm at top lane, and as a normal player, you will like, okay, I can't farm at top lane. I should stop going top lane and transfer to a lane that I can farm, since you are the person that's going to carry the team. Unless they have a different mindset that, oh, okay, they are bringing Armadon in as their main carry. And because Armadon can actually carry really well when he's really tanky and he out-tanks the enemy heroes.
Yep, that's definitely true, and he is farming very nicely. The problem is, for him to do that, he needs to be picking up some kills along the way. He's farming very well, but he's 0-1-0, sitting only 240 GPM. He's not quite there. Seeing Magebane at 300. I think you're right, but he needs something to kind of kick him into gear to allow him to take over like that. So maybe that just means the team needs to start moving around to set up ganks, and looks like they're going to try and do it in the bottom lane. Unfortunately, Wretched Hag is going to be wise to it, and Pid's going to back up right away. They're going to reveal themselves, it looks like, and yep. And Hag not going to fall for it, going to be just as happy to, well, run by the Ancients.
Yeah, based on, whoa, Mischyz already finished his Rune Cleaver.
Oh, yeah, 15-minute Rune Cleaver is fantastic. And oh, a beautiful stun from Aluna there, going to catch 3 seconds on Forsaken Archer, and yeah, that's going to be an easy kill. Magebane going to be able to finish her off. And wow, yeah, that Rune Cleaver going to get picked up, and Magebane's starting to hit pretty hard. Still sitting on red boots. He is very squishy, but he has done a great job avoiding death for the most part, sitting 2-1-2, and pick up some kills along the way. Now leading the way in this game, 320 GPM, Tundra nipping at his heels. Looking very good for the Hellborn team. Down in the bottom lane, though, Legion does manage to push a tier 1 tower thanks to the Polywog wards. It does get actually finished off by Polywog Priest himself. He's going to port out of there, although it may end up being a tier 1 for tier 1 exchange in the top lane. All the while in the mid, oh, Wretched Hag barely going to be able to blink away with about 30 hit points to spare. Going to be able to sip up that bottle a little bit and get back to an acceptable level of health. Going to be able to blink. Yep, Graveyard Stun going to miss. And that is great news, Bears. A Wretched Hag, a very close call, but very nicely done. Survive in the nick of time.
Yeah, he actually knew that Witchslayer was coming on his way, and he did not ran out, and instead waiting for his blink to get off cooldown, he hide in the forest, and once it's off cooldown and he blink it out. So well played by Wretched Hag there, having the decent map awareness.
Yep. Absolutely right, and interestingly enough, very minimal ward coverage right now for these two teams, but it's in the exact same area, both at the bottom rune on opposite sides of the river, but still that did give a little bit of help to Wretched Hag there, as you mentioned, having nice map awareness, seeing Witchslayer come in thanks to the ward vision, but nicely done nonetheless. Let's take a look here. Well, Luna actually going to come in and throw a nice counter ward and get close to a full duration ward here. That is very nicely executed by our Dark Green Luna. Up in the top lane, Armadon going to be in a little bit of a pickle. He's going to get frozen. Magebane chipping away at him. They're not going to overcommit, though. They don't want to dive the tower. Fortunately, Armadon is a little bit too tanky, at least for now. He's got 1,600 gold in the bank as well. And pardon me, in the mid lane did miss a kill on Forsaken Archer. Luna actually picking up the kill. It looks like Tundra has now picked up his portal key as well. Looks like that's what made the kill onto Luna possible.
Yeah. As just now, the engage, we can see that Mage Vein engages really can't bring down Amadon that easily, and it hurts as well. So, if earlier on they actually transfer the lane, I mean, bring Amadon back to the top, I think things will work out much more better than now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, we'll see what Armadon does with this money. That's actually what I'm really curious about. Is he just going to upgrade his boots? Is he going to finish his Shaman's headdress? Or is he just going to pull it up and maybe go for a Fast Souls Bulwark? I'm actually kind of curious which route he's going to take. And really, any of those could work in this scenario. Even going the Fast Souls might not be a bad idea to maybe get them a little temporary edge, give them a little bit of item tilt for a couple of minutes, and if they can pick up a few kills, might be able to help get this Legion team back on track. Sitting 2-9 here, 19 minutes in. They're still very much in this game, but they have quite the wall to climb to start bringing this back. So any little thing they can do to start getting an edge, I think needs to be taken into serious consideration at this point in time. This top tier 1 tower is going to take some serious pressure. Armadon taking the tower shots, and how is this fight going to commence? It's going to start with Tundra going straight in. There's the avalanche on the Polywog Priest. 3-second stun on the Witch Slayer. He's going to fall. A second death going to go right on the Polywog Priest, and it's looking like this Legion team is going to get cleaned up. Armadon's on the run. He's got a lot of mana though. Mage Man going to continue chipping away at him, and the Rana Rift actually not going to finish him off, but I think auto attacks will do the trick. Yep, piercing shards are going to be enough. Hag going to come around, and that's going to clean up. Who was that? Hammerstorm, it looks like, and that's going to be a 4-for-0 exchange. You're going to at least lose one tier 1 tower after this, but yeah, 10k gold, 10k experience. That wall just got a little bit higher there, man.
Yeah, it was totally a 0-4 exchange.
Yeah, not so
really
good.
bad for. Yeah, it's really bad for the Legion team.
Yeah, absolutely right. So a little surprised though to see GuC not pressure this tier 1 tower. They certainly could have taken out this tower. I mean, absolutely easily. Wretched Hag, what are you thinking, buddy? If this tower was fighting on the side of Polywog Priest, that would have been an easy kill onto Wretched Hag. But luckily for Hag, the tower just smacking away at the creeps. A noble effort from Polywog Priest. It's just not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough.
So things continuing here, still a relatively slow game in my humble opinion. No surprise to see GuC sitting back and farming though. They're in great shape across the boards. Again, looking at the GPM chart, yeah, pretty convincing, as it should be. I believe XP per minute will tell a similar tale. Kicks and giggles, let's see what the damage breakdown is like, and strikingly similar actually. Hag and Polywog Priest are all tied up, 17% apiece. Actually, a little bit surprised. Thought it would be a little more lopsided than that.
Yeah. So yeah, and Hellborn team got a more map awareness. I mean map control compared to the Legion.
Yep, absolutely right. And they're actually going to come in and jack the Ancients here. That's absolutely huge when it comes to map control. You see a couple thousand gold boost right there. And there's just the cost of not having Ancients here for the Legion team now actually adds to that also. Very nicely done, and they actually don't even, or no, there it is, they do have a ward there. Again, both teams sort of thinking along the same lines, with 2 wards in almost the identical location. So, but nicely done by the Hellborn team. I think the Hellborn team could actually probably pressure Kongor here if they really wanted to, at least feign some pressure and maybe bait a fight. They do have a little bit of ward coverage, and they could go for it if they were feeling up to the challenge, though. Perhaps maybe not a worthy risk at this juncture. Looks like Magebane is taking a more defensive route as well. After the Rune Cleaver, he moves straight into a Helm of the Black Legion, and I don't think we've actually seen that Magebane build yet in this particular tournament, but kind of makes sense here, I think.
Yeah, Magebane goes for Helm of Black Legion. I don't think it's normally you get it as a first item. If not, you just don't get it because it's either you go for a tank build or you don't. You go for a full DPS, which like you just get a cleaver and you just farm for your core items. So yeah, basically I think he realized that without the Helm of the Black Legion, he's been dropped too easily by Polywog Priest. So yeah, I think he made a last minute decision and just to get a Helm of Black Legion.
Yep, and I think that's a pretty accurate description of the situation. I don't think it's really a bad choice. I think in this case, it's probably warranted. He was able to get that Rune Cleaver so fast. I mean, we can't forget it was a 15-minute Rune Cleaver. Generally, if it's at the 20-minute mark, I would say that's fairly timely. 15 is pretty damn good. He did it on red boots, so he finished up those steam boots, and he just picked up a Helm of the Black Legion really fast after the fact. It probably was a worthy investment. Now, I'm sure he'll transition into the Geometer's Bane next to add to that survivability. Sitting with about 2,100 in the bank, man. He is just starting to take off well above 400 GPM at this point. No big surprise to see him take off after the Cleaver gets picked up, but that means this Legion team needs to make something happen. It's sort of out of... what do you say? How do you say? Out the window for Forsaken Archer to go toe-to-toe with Magebane at this point. She is just too far behind. If they keep going like they're going, it's just going to be a simple matter of him out-carrying. Wretched Hag making a big item pickup here as well. Actually going to be able to finish a 24-minute Sheepstick. Very nicely done for Wretched Hag.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. Considering his solo against three laners, so yeah, considering that factor, he's really doing very well with a 24-minute Sheepstick.
Yeah, definitely. And wow, just looking at the KDAs right now, it's pretty much everyone is 0 and something. Only 2 kills on the board. Polywog Priest actually has both of them. Magebane pushing that tier 2 in the bottom lane. All the while this team fight's going on. Started off with a kill onto Witch Slayer, and wow, just an obliteration. Pig going to be able to pick up the hat trick there. And it's just going to be a massacre down in the bottom lane. Magebane doing work. He's keeping Armadon busy, and he also took out that tier 2 tower. I imagine the remaining Hellborn members up at the top lane will take out this tier 1 here. And wow, the gold boost just went from 15k to 20k at the drop of a hat. Split pushing, they win the team fight without Magebane even being there. I don't know. I'd be if I was on this Legion side, I'd be feeling a little bit tempted for that concede button at this juncture, man.
Yeah, definitely, because like you will have the impression, oh, they don't even have their carry here, and we already lost. The engage was like 4-0 exchange. It was so bad. I mean, yeah, I will like be demotivated eventually.
Yeah, and it was, I think for me, the most devastating part was just the fact that it was an obliteration. It was like, oh, it looks like a pretty even team fight, and then the team just kind of keeled over when Hag showed up. It was, it just seemed very demoralizing. If only Wretched Hag had the ultimate, that would have been the perfect bat blast, but unfortunately it wasn't up. And they're actually going to be able to get a kill onto Hag, so maybe a bit of overcommitment from GuC, feeling, well, maybe a bit overconfident after that fight, but all the while in the mid, that sneaky Magebane able to push that tier 2 tower. So that's back-to-back tier 2 towers he's been able to pick up now. He's got actually only 800 in the bank. Actually, he may have picked up an item. Yeah, he's got the Blessed Orb on the courier. So yeah, he's got plenty of money going around here. There's the Geometer's Bane. Forsaken Archer still sitting only with a Blessed Orb. Pretty big difference.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh. Yeah.
Tundra now has the Soul's Bulwark, so he's going to be in good shape. Portal Key Soul's Bulwark makes Tundra a scary, scary force.
Yeah, they can actually do a combo attempt right now and actually bait the Legion team out.
Yep.
And just like kill them once and for all and just push in the base.
Yep. Well, that's another thing I've noticed about some of these SEA teams is that very methodical play. You know, in situations where it's like, you know, you probably could just take out one lane of Rax and just roll your way through to the World Tree. There's like, you know what? No, we're gonna back up and then we're gonna push the other lanes, make sure we get mega creeps, and then we'll just let the creeps take the towers. And it's, I guess I'm too impatient. You know, I'm always like, just do it already. Just push through. You can win. You know, it's a slightly different play style from the American mentality. Maybe a little bit refreshing though. At times, a little bit like, really? Do we need mega creeps? I think we've seen mega creeps almost every game that we've passed in today. Seriously, like it's so funny. You're exactly right, though. I mean, I think they could have taken Kongor 10 minutes ago if they really wanted to. Still, absolutely no ward coverage for the Legion team. Of course, they don't know that, but yeah, they could have taken Kongor and pushed up a little bit more easily. The last remaining Tier 2 is going to fall. It is going to get denied, but it does fall nonetheless. Polywog Priest now also picking up a portal key. May give this Legion team a little bit of much-needed initiation power. Armadon, oh, I thought he was going to get caught here. Nope, they're going to go straight for Forsaken Archer. I don't know what you were thinking, buddy. Sorry, Sub-Zero, but you're going to go down. We're going to see this engage continue, and it's not looking so good for the Legion side. Luna taking a silver bullet to the face, but she's going to be able to tank it. Armadon does come in, finishes her off, but at what cost? It's probably going to be his own life. Oh, those spines are stacking up. They're going to have to disengage this. Armadon going to be able to survive. He cleans it up a little bit. It's going to be a 2 for 4. No buybacks used quite yet. They're not going to be able to finish Armadon, though. Wow, they had to disengage. That is the power of Armadillo with the back turned right there, man. Holy Toledo.
Yeah, that's a big play by Armadon. Really actually tried to bring him. Actually, he thought that he's confirmed dying, and wow, he managed to at least two kills from that.
Yeah,
that's like really big.
Wow, and he also, I guess he finished off a Luna, and then, wow, incredible. Forsaken Archer, though, I mean, the epitome of poor positioning right there. I don't know why she was up so far. Needed to play a little more heads up than that. Still sitting on just the Blessed Orb. 0-6-2 Forsaken Archer right now. I hate to point out the negative, but kind of the anchor of this Legion team right now. The tri-lane, I think we could label as kind of a dismal failure for mFx. Unfortunate as that may be, it's looking pretty rough. What can they do at this point? I mean, hell, maybe they should go for Kongor. They need something risky to try to bring this back. GuC's shown they're not so interested. If they could pick up the token, maybe they could pick up a little bit of momentum in a team fight. They're behind by a huge deficit, but the fact that they still have all of their racks up gives me maybe just a glimmer of hope that they might be able to turn a team fight around. You never know. Armadon could still snowball out of control. Not totally out of the question.
Yeah, so right now, just to point out, the Hellborn team has 5 blinks. Even Luna had a PK.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. You're right. That is pretty incredible. Yeah. Everyone can blink. Hag, Magebane. They don't need portal keys, but even Luna. So Glacius as well, as I've said many a time in the past, I guess. Anytime you see a Glacius with a portal key, that's generally a sign your team's in pretty damn good shape. And that's certainly the case here. They are finally going to go for a 30-minute Kongor here. Much overdue, but regardless, they're going to be able to finish him off. They throw out a nice ward. They've got ward coverage in the jungle. They've got it on lockdown. Again, that very methodical play. You know, my American mentality is like, you don't have ward coverage. You guys could probably do it. Just go for it. These guys are, you know, they're going to wait. They're going to make sure they have good ward coverage. They know where the Legion team is. Very safe Kongor kill here. And that's admirable. I'm jelly. I wish I could think like that. So jelly, man. Teach me the way of the Asian mentality.
Well, we often like to play the safer way. I mean, like, you see all of the games, we have mega creeps.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. You know, it sounds a little silly or perhaps a little stereotypical, but it truly is an honest observation from this event so far. And it's, you know, not even really a bad thing. It's just a much different kind of mentality of how to approach the game, which is one of many facets that makes this game so interesting. We are going to see the engage continuing here. Unfortunately, Death Ad are going to get dropped like he's hot. And look at this diving action here. Magebane and Tundra just going straight in and actually not doing a hell of a lot. They're now on the defensive here. Tundra going to get left behind, and I think he's going to get taken out. The Fat Blast from Hag, it's going to do a lot. That's going to be 2 easy kills on the Polywog Forsaken Archer. Glacius actually going to go down here. Hammerstorm's alive. Armadon spamming those spines, but he is eventually going to fall. He can do a lot of damage, but unfortunately not quite enough to keep the base alive. He's going to buy back. He's going to be the lone defender here. And are they going to have enough to take him out for a second time? I don't know. I don't know it's going to be the case. There's going to be a stun come out. Hag needs to be careful here. Those spines are going to start adding up. And the slow is actually going to add up much more quickly than the spines will. Witch Slayer going to buy back or possibly respawn. Hey, he's just going to go ahead and respawn. He's only level 8. He pops right back up, and he's going to pour it in this tower in deny range. So it is going to fall regardless, and yeah, they're going to be able to get the denial. It's not the worst team fight for the Legion side, but obviously very one-sided Hellborn team coming out way ahead. Token not burned. Magebane Gonna make it out alive with 5,400 gold in the bank. Yeah, racking up the interest on that bad boy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, yeah, I mean, because really, Forsaken Archer is not really farming very well, and until now, he still had the. Okay, at least he got his Quick Blade and the Fleet Feet.
Yeah,
But
he's getting there. He almost has geometers.
yeah, he's almost there, but compared to Mischyz, it's like
Yeah.
Mischyz is like 4 times more farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really like to say this, but it's really a bit too late.
Yes, I agree with you, good sir, especially now that I've seen the item in transit to Magebane. There's a Wingbow on the courier. That's the icing on the cake, I think. There's no Savage Mace coming out anytime soon. And I think that'll be the nail in the coffin. The choir has sung here. You know, I do have to say, though, I'm really happy to see Wingbow, you know, coming back a little bit. In my days of casting with Honcast, we saw maybe 1 Wingbow in 6 months, and in this tournament we've seen at least 2, if not 3. And I like Wingbow. I think it's a good item that has a clear place in the game, and I like it. I'm pro Wingbow, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we're going to see some initiation here. Magebane going to take the stuns. Don't forget that he has the token. They're going to hop right on the Polywog Priest. He's going to fall. The wards are down, but they're not doing enough damage here. Tundra actually taking a lot of damage. The wards, well, maybe actually doing enough damage now. Eating my own words. Hag going to come in, drop the Bat Blast straight on Forsaken Archer, going for the weak ones. Archer going to make it into the well, not going to be able to survive. Is Hag going to be able to survive, though, is the question. Double tap coming out for Pid. And yeah, he's going to be just fine. It's going to be a 3-for-1. Tundra, the only one to fall. Mid laner Rax going to go down as well. A couple of ports out. We see Hag and Magebane just wrecking the tier 3 down here in the bottom lane. Armadon and Hammerstorm going to come in. Hammerstorm trying to throw the stun. Actually gets disjointed by Magebane. Very nicely done. He still has the token. They are yet to take him down. With that Wingbow, he should feel, you know, pretty safe. Still 3 minutes left on the token, so actually still doesn't need to burn it. No pressure whatsoever. They can just sit back, wait for their good buddy Tundra to respawn. Or just go ahead and start chipping away at the tier 3 because, hey, why not? It's going to go down. It's feeling pretty close to the end here, my friend.
Yes, it's really close. I mean, this game might end with the last engage. All they need is one more.
The wave items, Forsaken Archer now finishing up that Firebrand. They may wait just long enough for Sub-Zero here to get his Geometer's Bane. Yeah, unfortunately Armadon here, he's had some cash in the bank. He's got 1,800. I think he's trying to save for that Demonic, but he just hasn't been able to pull up enough. That buyback really cut into his savings. He was saving it up for college, but unfortunately he had to get a job. Looks like the Hellborn team is going to get aggressive here, though. GuC, they're feeling it, man. They're ready to end it. They're going to go straight in. Polywog Priest, he's going to get caught down. He goes. The ward's come down. Actually gets the ward trap on a Luna. The piercing arrow is going to come out. Very nicely done. That's actually going to be the end of a Luna. That's going to make it a 1-for-1 to start this off. Forsaken Archer now taking a pretty good amount of damage. I don't think they're going to have the deeps to take her out officially. And no, never mind. Hag coming in. That's going to be the end of Witch Slayer. Forsaken Archer going to fall shortly after. Wretched Hag. The Bat Blast coming up. He's probably going to blow it here. And yep, there it is. It's totally going to whiff. Not going to connect with anyone. I don't know that it matters, though. The Hammerstorm and Armadon, the two lone defenders, the lone rangers, unfortunately, are not going to be able to keep the bottom lane of Rax alive. Only one lane's left, and we're going to take it out. We got to make it Super Creeps because it just stings that much more. Seeing Super Creeps take out the World Tree than Heroes. And Armadon, he's going to go straight in. They're going to go for it. There's the Glacius ulti, and yeah, he's just not farmed enough, man. He's spamming those spines, but unfortunately it's just not enough damage. Hag actually going to fall here, but that's going to be it. Witch Slayer doing everything he can to make sure Hag knows her place. Put her in the grave, but that's it. Min, we're going to have a successful game here. GuC, looks like they're going to be moving on to the semifinals, one step closer to their chance to play lockpicking mode for a chance to go to the 500k tournament.
Yeah, really looking forward to that, and I really acknowledge their skills, and they are really good players. Yeah, so really wish them good luck.
Yes, absolutely. And there it is. We do have mega creeps. The game can officially end. They're going to push in now, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Forsaken Archer, though, I hate to pick on him. I really do.
He
But
has not finished his geometer
he's
speed
not.
yet.
He's just not going to be able to do it, and it is really unfortunate, you know. And it was really interesting. It really ended up being a good read from the Hellborn side, because don't forget, they were the ones that switched it up to force the tri-lane on tri-lane. They were gonna, with the original setup, it was gonna be a 3v1 in the top and a 3v1 down in the bottom. But they made the called the audible at the line of scrimmage there, right at the end. And it worked out to be the right choice. So that kind of defensive tri-lane really working quite well. Again, I think it's become clear to me with tri-lane on tri-lane, it's really advantageous to have your primary farming recipient be a melee, so you can utilize a hatchet. It just makes everything so much easier, and honestly, I think that's part of what this game goes back to, and why Forsaken Archer got so far behind, because it's not like he's a bad player. It's really just, he couldn't farm in that top lane, and he kind of inverse snowballed, unfortunately. We do see some kills coming out here. Luna got picked off, and Mage Bang going to put some pressure on the well. The super creeps just trucking through the structures, doing what super creeps do best. Tundra now, he's got the demonic, lowering the armor of those towers. It's all good. It's the rest of the team. Enjoys taking a bath in the well. They're going to clean it up. Genocide to finish it off. That's got to feel good. What a glorious way to go out, man. GuC showing no mercy. Take no prisoners. Absolutely just pirate style, man. Take what you can, give nothing back. I love it. Man, I think we just about covered every aspect of that game. We had plenty of time at the end. We're going to cut to some tunes. We have at least one more game, if not, well, two more games, one more series. We have a semifinals coming up, and I believe it is a best of 3. So, yeah, man, are you up to the challenge? You feeling fresh?
Yes, I'm still good right now. Ready for more actions.
Great. Glad to hear it, buddy. Good stuff. So sit tight, guys. Plenty more Heroes of Newerth coming your way here on Garena TMHNC Selangor.